Okay, so hello, this is Mary and I am with Janice from the Orchard Head Start Garden, and we're here to talk about the brand new garden that's just been put in. And can you tell me what your role here is at the garden?
I am the lead teacher in one of the classrooms. We have 2 classrooms with 20 children in each, and I am facilitator and teacher and a lot of other things that will take forever to mention.
Yeah. And can you tell us a little bit about the history of this garden and how it came about?
The history of the garden, it started when I kind of was noticing that there wasn't any planting here on the side. It was another environment for children to be outside. I believe that children need indoor and outdoor as much as possible during the day. So we started getting a few planter boxes, and during the summer things weren't going to be able to be watered unless I came up every day, and April Cunningham from the Food for Thought program asked Miles Gordon if he would be so kind to install a drip system for us. And Miles came and he noticed the lot here and said, wow, that looks like a great spot for a garden. And I said, yeah, I'd love that. And so after that, Cassie from the Gardens Project contacted Peggy and Jonathan Whipple, and I hope it was okay to say that, their names without their permission, but we'll call them. And they were delighted. They were really excited about having the area being used as a garden for children, and it kind of just went from there.
Okay, great. And then can you talk about a little bit about the work that's gone into this in the past few weeks?
It's been very interesting. A lot of community involvement, parent involvement, partnershiping with parents, and it all started, I think, from the beginnings when I brought the children out to the field and kind of talked about it in the classroom. I like to be really inclusive with everything that happens here, and they were very excited and talked about what they wanted, that this is going to be our garden. So I have pictures of them out in the field, just a bare essential here. And one of my staff has a dad that drives a tractor. His name was Bonifacio, and he came to our classroom and did circle time with us, and all the children knew his name, and he brought his tractor, and his employer donated the time for him to work here and brought a big huge truck to bring the tractor on, and so they did it three times. They dug up the ground, and from there we had irrigation brought in. Miles brought the machine to dig up the ground, and the girls from the Gardens Project and other volunteers helped dig up the ground. And my dad built a lot of the raised beds and the picnic tables, and that's really brought him alive. He's 92 and he's been very busy, but loving the garden. He comes over every day to see what's happening. We had a donation from a U-Haul truck from Garrett's Brake and Tire, and they said use the U-Haul anytime that you want to bring things over. So we have a kitchen area that we have planned here, 8 foot one way and 8 foot the other way, with sinks so children can wash their hands and they can wash the vegetables and the fruits, and they can actually cut on a countertop the vegetables and fruits, and we can have a seating area for families and children to enjoy and be a part of, to learn the sciences of how this all happens. Children don't know where food comes from. I've asked them, and they said, when we're eating, where do you think this came from? They think it comes from the store. So when they start with the seed and they actually plant it, watch it grow, it's very exciting for them to understand what happens in the process of taking care of things and living things and healthy, nutritional things. So, I get off on other things. The stumps were brought in from a friend that I know. The bird bath my dad built. We have lots of ideas. My son built the gate. Our maintenance, Pablo and Keith, built the fence here. Yeah. So there's a lot of people involved.
Yeah, it sounds like a real community has put this together. Mm-hmm. So what do you envision for it, for maybe the next year or in the future? What it will look like?
I envision a working garden, a lot of working people. I envision a lot of partnerships with our families as far as culture being brought into. I have I've been getting a lot of seeds and like sugar cane and Mexican squash and all these great ideas that I myself would never be aware of, but and peanuts, tried to plant peanuts on peanuts, really. So I'm envisioning a garden, a lush garden, a safe garden, and a garden of knowledge for children to learn a lot of essentials that they need for moving on to kindergarten. So.
Yeah, and you touched on it a little bit, but why do you think it's so important to introduce kids at this age to gardening and fresh food?
I think nutrition, obviously we have an extreme issue with obesity and health, asthma, and there's all kinds of things that happen when children are not eating healthy. And just the nutrients and the nutrients in the ground and the compost and what that is. When we dug into that and it started really smelling and steamy, and they were wondering what this is. I said, these are really, really good for you. They're going to make you really strong and feel good and happy and not grumpy. And I think that children need to be exposed to things that they've never been exposed to. And concrete things, real things, have more meaning to them for children that don't experience. Children live in apartments, they don't get outside. So a lot of it is just looking at bugs and worms and learning the names of things. And but as far as nutrition and health, it's pointed in the right direction. I'd like to see a garden on every corner.
Yeah.
And it's local. We want to be local.
Yeah.
We don't have to get our produce from some other country. Why can't we just grow here?
Yeah.
And teach at the same time. So
that's great.
it's important.
And then where will the food go? So your plan with the food?
The food is going to be eaten as it's ripening, I'm sure. I had a little strawberry over there, and I noticed right away, And I have told the children, if you see it and it's ready and it's ripe, you can pick it and eat it, and maybe you might want to share it. We have blueberries that they're picking right now and eating. The food will be used for part of the food for thought, and our cooks have been involved with what they're going to be interested in using in the classroom. We will be having gatherings of parents and families and extended families and friends and all of you, I hope, to have some gatherings of harvesting and harvest. We're going to call families over the summer, hopefully, if we have the harvest during the summer. But it's a get-together, and it's a common thing that we all, I think, want to do together and learn together and be a part of it. It's a way to touch on all of that.
Yeah, that's really great. So our last question for you is very important, and it's, what is your favorite vegetable and why?
I was thinking about this. First I thought lemon cucumbers. I love lemon cucumbers, but it's corn. It has to be corn because it's just so good. And it's got a variety of things that you can be a part of with corn, like a maze, or you can find all the bugs in it. You can, chuck it and have children, just a lot of different things that you can do with corn. So, yeah, I think corn on the cob. It's good.
It's great. It's classic.
Yeah.
So I really want to thank you for your time today, and thank you for your work with the garden.
Thank you.
Yeah.